Next, we have a second review of board policy revisions to a new policy in regard to use of medications at after-school activities, modifications to policy 4120, employment of support staff, policy 5460, graduation requirements, policy 9130, public requests, suggestions or complaints, and policy 3139/4139 regarding staff discipline. Those were all embedded with the proposed language and the changes that have been made to some. Is there a motion for approval of those policies?
So moved to approve.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the board policy language that was embedded and for the respective policies that I just listed. Is there any discussion regarding any of those policies? Any questions?
Well, the one I'd like to bring out, since Mrs. Justinger isn't here anymore, is of course the graduation requirement. And that always has brought up a lot of discussion. And essentially with this policy, what's changing, of course, as you noted, is we had changed things prior, and we're just eliminating some language that isn't current. So we're getting rid of what the requirements were for the class of 2011 and the class of 2012, since, of course, they're done. There was a new option that did pass through the legislature, so it was added to this policy, and it's concerning the option students have to request, and they would have to request permission to take, and that they may be able to take an additional half a credit of English, social studies, mathematics, science, or health education towards their graduation requirements in lieu of a half a credit of Phi Ed based on their participation in sport within the district. So that is something a student could request, and it would be simply looked at on a single case-by-case basis and dependent upon what activity they're in and what sport they're in and how involved they are, and all of that would determine if that's a possibility for them. But it gives that student an opportunity to do more of that sort of study if they so choose to get those credits towards their graduation versus a Phi Ed credit when they're expending a lot of time and energy in a sport that they are involved in. So, and that was something new.
And that will help them if they care to go to college. That will help them get that prep for college.
Right. That's the intent of it.
And that was the result of legislation?
Yes.
So that language just reflects the change in law?
Gives them more options. It's another option.
Flexibility.
Right. Means different students have different needs, so it meets those options.
Any questions about any of the other policies? Do people like any more time to scroll through those to jog their memories? Okay, well then we have a motion and a second to approve the new policy language. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and the new board policy language is approved